Last Monday was the International Women's Day, and I kept thinking about the woman who influenced me the most in my life so far, and uh, I just kept missing her. This was the first time, I realized that she is physically not around. That's my mom, and I just kept thinking about her, and she was an amazing combination. Without talking about the gender equality, without talking about any isms, I think her whole idea of what women go through, or why women need to be given certain priorities and preference, were very clear. I remember the way we were brought up. In our house, no chores were ever divided gender wise. Uh, if you all eat, you all pick up your plates, you all clean up your plates, and that's about it. It's not anybody's job. I still remember one of the distant cousins, chauvinist guy coming from a small town, came to live with us. And after the dinner, everywhere, all of us, including my dad, we all picked up our plate. And he said, "This is lady's job." So my mother looked at him and said, "Okay, now you better pick up your plate. And as a punishment for saying that, clean up all the plates." And that is what who she was. And make no mistake, she was traditional, so she still uh, expected all traditions to be followed. The festivals in our house are perhaps celebrated exactly the way they perhaps would have been celebrated 100 years back in the house. But the traditions never had a weightage on a particular gender. I'll give you an example. Ganpati is a big festival for everybody in Maharashtra, particularly, and that's a festival more than a religious festival. It's a occasion where people come home and you treat people and all that happens. Now, one of the traditions that we have is that whatever you keep in front of the god, you know, as what we call the Nevedya, it should not be bought from outside. You have to prepare it. And in Ganpati, we used to make those modaks. Modaks are nothing but for uninitiated. Modaks are basically the momos with sweet feelings, and that's a very traditional Maharashtrian cuisine. And relatives used to come for lunch, so we literally had to make 100 modaks sometimes, and it's not that simple. Yeah, I remember all of us had to sit to make modak. It was not the lady's job. uh, over 3 decades back, uh, when I started my graduation, and I was in a mixed group. I had a group of boys and girls, and I grew up in a fairly conservative locality where over 3 decades back, if the girl talks to the boy, people still used to have that smile and try to smell something which was not there, that kind of stuff. But thankfully, I had a group of friends who are mixed group of boys and girls, and I had a kinetic Honda, so I used to go and drop anybody, everybody, including the boys or the girls. So one day she asked me, "Why do why do you take girls on a pillion ride with you?" And I was very annoyed. I said, "What do you mean? Which kind of era are you living in?" So she looked at me quietly and said, "Idiot, I'm not worried about you at all. That's okay. I know you, but our uh, society has a very unfair way of looking at the girls. And I'm more worried about those girls who sit behind you in a pillion because I don't want the tongues wagging for them. Uh, Unfortunately, the way things go in our society, uh, people will talk loosely about them, and that's what I'm more worried about. I think, to my mind, that was a very amazing way of thinking. Whether I agree with it or not, or that's a different story. But she was always thinking about, you know, what a woman has to go through. I still remember when she first met Pallavi. Pallavi was all 18, I was 21, and I think I've told this story earlier. But the first question she asked Pallavi was, "Are you sure about this boy? He just doesn't do anything in life yet." So, she was more worried about that 18-year-old girl than being happy that her son got a girlfriend. Yeah. So, and that continued. I still remember when we got married and we started to live together. Uh, she said, we got married in Jan end, and Pallavi's MSc exams were coming close by, and she suddenly told Pallavi that, listen. As per the the customs, every visitor who comes here wants to spend time with the newlywed bride, and it will just waste a lot of your time, so it's going to disturb your study. Why don't you go home to your mom's place and study? I mean, I was newly married, nobody even thought of checking with me, because she always was always conscious about what a woman goes through in our society, which is a little more sometimes and unfair to this thing. And when first time when we moved to Bangalore, which was the first time we actually stayed away from the joint family, it was hilarious. Every time, every night, Pallavi used to get a call, and the dialogue was standard. She used to ask, "What did Yogesh do at home today?" And her philosophy was that don't let him, just go scot free just because he goes to the office. He has to do things at home. The point she always had was the world has been little unfair to the women. There are a lot of expectations which are gender based, and this is something which she fought remarkably in our house. So, mm, you know, that is how just we grew up, and there are some funny side effects of that. So for example, it's a very normal practice in today's world where, irrespective of the gender, when you meet your colleague, you hug. I am somehow, the way I'm brought up, I'm not comfortable with that. So I used to tell my uh, female colleagues that, look, I'm not very comfortable with this hugging business, and they used to laugh at me. "You're a traditional guy, and the orthodox maybe, and things like that." Again, this has a very phenomenal impact of what my mother always used to tell me, that yes, treat ladies in your life equal, give them the respect, but please remember, whatever little things you do, whether it is giving them a billion right now, I'm not saying you should agree with him, but it was just a funny thought. It was just a way the sweetly she used to think about it. Just remember that, unfortunately, in our society, which is hypocritical, ladies blame. So uh, keep that balance. Just ensure that you treat them with respect, you treat them with equality, and that is something which stayed with me. And traditions and gender equality can coexist. Sometimes what I see is that a lot of people misunderstand that women equality has to be breaking all the traditions. It's not necessary. You can follow traditions, you can follow your customs, you can follow your rituals, and you can still have an equality. And that is one of the biggest gifts my mom gave me. As I said, uh, she went away in October, but a child which is just gifted with so many gifts, I'm still unwrapping those gifts. And they keep coming to me. As they keep coming to me, I'll keep sharing with you. Thank you for listening.